Hello YouTube, this is Justin Game 44 here, and today we are here to talk about the next two Steven Universe episodes, Pool Hopping and Letter to Lars. So let's begin. In episode Pool Hopping, we're pretty much seeing Steven with Line talking about all the things that have changed. He can't get a donut, a new mayor has come to Beach City, Sadie is in a band now, all that type of stuff that we see from the other episodes. And pretty much Lars is in space. We go to the Big Donut, and pretty much Scarlett's working there. And she's discussing how come she's been trying to do more, seeing the possible possibilities thing. She chose to work at the Big Donut and see what would happen, and she pretty much eventually reached to a stalemate. Really meaning she cannot find anything that she could do there anymore. So, she quit. No, literally, that's the way how she did it. It was actually kind of funny. She goes to Steve, and well, they are pretty much hanging out for the rest of the time for the episode. And pretty much, Garnet is suggesting to Steven, let's do more of these types of pool hopping things. Well, possible abilities. Steven is pretty much like ordering pizza, and instead of just like saying, I'll take one pepperoni please, send it to the temple. Instead, Steven gives a few ideas, but has to give the idea that can work, something that's not possible that we could do. That cannot happen. So pretty much it was order at the pizza, 20 pizzas. Instead of eating it, they gave it to everyone around the pizza. Some people were confused, some people were happy and laughing, and they just gave it to wild animals. So anyway, they pretty much go to Onion's mother, which what was interesting about this was there was actually a possibility if Onion was actually the one who was staying on the ship and Lars would actually jump off. Garnet was pretty much thinking of a different timeline thing, what she was saying. Which that was kind of interesting that I was hearing. Which got me more interesting at the end about something. But let's continue on what's been going on now. They pretty much are now talking to Onion's mother about paintings, and they choose to do a portrait. With Steven, of course. And well, what really happens in this episode is when they see a one-eyed cat, which, to be honest, when I immediately see this cat immediately reminds me of Megan. Yeah, not a joke. But besides all that, what really happened in this episode was they are choosing to chase the cat while she's trying to finish up the portrait. And she's going. Garnet and them, they're going to the forest following this one-eyed cat. And then pretty much they find a buzz with an empty can and with like 4 or 5 other cats. A black, a white, a few striped, a tiger cat even. So, pretty much, Steven was saying, man, who knows what would happen if we did not choose to take a look. Choose to follow this cat. Because they were starving, they were just kittens actually. Anyway, Garnet starts getting upset because so many cats, so many possibilities. She actually gets upset and starts writing, and she's discussing something about you, Steven. You were able to do so many things, like going to Homeworld, coming through Lion's Mane, doing this and that. You did so many possibilities that I couldn't even predict. And she just gets upset saying she doesn't even know what to do. She doesn't even know what to do with the cats and everything now that they have. Steven tells her that it's okay, Garnet, and pretty much try to explain to her how come, instead of trying to focus on all the different types of possibilities, seeing which would be the best, why don't you just try to focus on one thing what would be the best? And Garnet realized, first let's get the cat out right in the sealed umbrella. And then they go back to Onion's house where her mother, which I honestly forgot to name easily for a lot of these new characters that we barely see, just to let you know. But besides all that, Onion's mother pretty much finished the portrait. And during that time, Garnet and Steven are having a talk about her future vision and everything. And then Garnet starts to realize that pretty much her future vision, she started to realize the only reason why it's been happening is because she has not been accepting all of this ideas and everything. She's been trying to do all these weird ideas, like going to the Big Donut, ordering 20 pizzas and everything, doing all these crazy things, thinking that she could actually stop these possible abilities, so for her to see these possible abilities that she did not expect before, that she could possibly stop again. Anyway, she realized she's been treating Steven like a kid, and it's going to be time to stop treating him like a kid since he is becoming a grown-up within a few years. And Garnet starts smiling, and actually is okay with it, because there's nothing really wrong with this timeline or anything. And it was only funny that one of the cats, who was the one-eyed cat actually, jumped off of the table immediately into Garnet's hand. That was just cute. Garnet chose to adopt the cat, and pretty much it was just something special. And the cat's name is Cat Steven. Yeah, that's not a joke, that's literally the name. We get this adorable shot what the painting was, and we get to see Cat Steven laying on Lion. Now, besides all that, that's how the episode ends. Okay, before we go into the next episode, there is one thing I do want to talk about this. It's about Garnet's future vision. Many theorizers, and even I, to be honest, I honestly thought, when people were talking about her future vision, I was thinking Garnet, like everyone was thinking, Garnet was making too many bad decisions. But in my mind, I was honestly thinking that Garnet, she was not doing these on purpose or anything. Well, I mean, she was not letting things happen. She was letting this on purpose for two reasons. One, for Steven to more understand, because she thinks it would be better for her too. She knew for a fact Steven was going to be okay. She knew for a fact Steven was coming. I believe this was all part of Garnet's plan to actually help Steven become a better leader one day. And possibly Steven might actually have do something that was all part of Garnet's plan. Like, maybe bring back Pink Diamond or something. Like, maybe bring the diamonds and the crystal gems as one kind again or something. That was literally my thought. I thought Garnet had an amazing idea that would help Steven grow as a person and everything. And that was the whole entire point of these things she was doing. But now that we know that's clearly not the case, she really can't see anything. She didn't know what Steven's decisions were going to be. She didn't know that she was going to choose to go to Homeworld with Steven. He didn't know what was going to happen to Lars. She didn't know how he was going to get back to Earth. These were just things that completely shocked her, and she was being for real. She didn't know any of this stuff, which that just got her to be upset. She just wanted to try to prevent these things, but now that she realized she might not be able to, she has to learn to be okay with that. And also, maybe there's a reason why. Now, besides on that, let's go to Letter to Lars. This episode is very interesting. We're back on Lars' ship and everything, and pretty much a letter comes out of his hair, no Steven, and this letter is explaining everything that's been going on with Steven in Beach City. There's a lot of things, so I'll pretty much discuss a few of these. Now, one of the interesting is that Rock and Isle honestly thought the government, been doing this and that, been lying to us, but like, Lars is not in space, Steven, he's working at the Big Donut. And no one's actually working at the Big Donut, actually, so it's kinda shut down for now. So, what's been going on in this episode, really? So, pretty much, Garnet pretty much quick in the last episode, which was kind of funny that she was choosing to. It was actually interesting for me to actually see her work at the Big Donut, but that was the last episode. This is this episode now. So, what's been going on is Rock and Isle turns out... whatever. Pretty much been discussing about it's the government thing. Steven has to explain to him it was me, and pretty much if we took a look at the episode where the fry person... the pizza woman grandma thing, I forgot her name. Why am I forgetting all these characters' names? Okay, for real. She pretty much became mayor and everything, and if we did look at those episodes, we can see Rock and Isle pretty much focusing on his phone throughout the whole entire thing, saying it's the government or something, or was not even paying attention at all. So, pretty much, what really happens in this episode is that going on, and then we are seeing Garnet playing with Greg with tennis. We are seeing where the mayor is speaking to all of the citizens, well, only a few, Greg, Rock and Isle, and a few other characters like the family members and Steven, of course, even Pearl. are all there. They're discussing ways, like, if Aquamarine and Topaz come back, we need to be repair crystal gems, the mayor is saying. And honestly, it's interesting how come humans are now getting into this stuff. This is something a lot of people want, and especially I'm excited for. Now, they're discussing we should probably, like, get pizza in there. Okay, no, for real, they're just at the pizza place discussing. What's really going on is Greg discussed we should have a telescope and keep an eye on, which Rock and Alex agree on doing the job for it. Greg bought it, and then we have a telescope at the lighthouse. Now, there is a few other things, like we are talking about Sadie's band. Jeremy is now hosting plays and everything, and Peridot and Amethyst are even helping Sadie's mother, and also Mr. Smiley. That's honestly really interesting how come we're getting gems, like Peridot is now getting into more human stuff, interacting with more human characters. I actually really love that idea, how come what they're doing. Now, besides all that, what goes on next is where Steven is pretty much then discussing about, well, the mayor throughout the whole entire thing is discussing, I got an idea, hey, can I join you, can I join you? He's pretty much trying to get into every single thing, because now that he's no longer mayor, he really has not that much purpose. Like, he's saying, can I play tennis with you? And he gets hit with a ball. Can I help with your play? And pretty much that's not going to happen. Tries to suggest some ideas, but his ideas don't work. Yeah, so pretty much what goes on is about him and him. Sadie's band a little bit as well goes on in this episode. It's interesting how come we're getting Pearl and Peridot more. But pretty much at the end of the episode, before we go back to Lars, it's pretty much saying that, this and this. I just want to make a name for myself or do something. And Steven suggests, why not the Big Donut? Turns out he did went to the Big Donut, and now pretty much he now works there. Lars said he's been working there since Season 1, and since Season 4, Lars was pretty much gone, and in the middle of Season 5, Sadie pretty much left. And now, in Season 5, who used to be the mayor is now working at the Big Donut, and actually loves it. And then, so that's what's been going on here. Love, Steven. What was actually very hilarious about this episode, Steven was actually telling the whole thing through Lars's head. Only his head was popping out, and only his hand, one part of his hand, not his arm even, and saying, love, Steven at the end. And Lars is saying, I appreciate what you did for me, but why were you writing this if I'm just going to read it? You do realize I don't even know half of these characters, right? Like, who the heck is Peridot? And maybe, just maybe, that is how Lars is going to meet Lapis. I kind of did believe about something about Lars actually meeting Lapis, like, they're going to use the ship to go to the moon. Like, we know how the moon base goes and everything. So, besides all that, what's really going to happen for all these characters? Really, I'm actually excited to see Lars meet Lapis and Peridot, probably. Or Lars meeting all these other gem characters. I am looking excited because he already met a few of the crystal gems, plus all the off colors. This is really interesting, and it's honestly great. Anyway, Lars and Steven kind of giggle saying, yeah, I can't wait to see them. And that's really how the episode ends. Now, these two episodes were very interesting. They were giving us some interesting information, telling us what's going on, and what was mostly interesting, we were getting, like, gems interacting with more humans. Like, we barely really see that. Like, Peridot is actually opening up to more humans, and Garnet was working at the Big Donut, even though it was for one episode, and it really did not matter that much, because she was just choosing to work there just to see some type of possibility thing. So, yeah, that was pretty much interesting. But anyway, though, that's the whole entire point of the videos of these episodes, and I am looking forward when we do see Lapis, which I do think we are going to see that very soon. But anyway, this is Justin Game 44, signing out. Until then, I'll see you all later. Bye!